So, it has been a common thought that is, those war veterans, those who went to war or going in war that are experienced trauma, PTSD, as it's called, post-traumatic stress syndrome. But it's not only them, it is people who may have experienced war, going through it as a civilian. It may be those who've experienced domestic abuse. It may be those who have experienced socialized abuse by police and by discrimination. The trauma could be personal or witnessing some events. So trauma to one person is not the same as trauma to another. So, for instance, you could have a 3-year-old who said that they got a beating, a whipping, because they stole some money. And another 3-year-old could have gotten that same beating and was like, so what? I already had the candy or I already bought what I needed to buy, no big deal. And so, it depends on the individual and how they internalize the feeling and then how intense it becomes before it really shows up on the body. And so you can have flashbacks like my face bobbing through through this Zoom call. I have to see how I can fix that because I love this background and it also shows my book. Yeah. So anyway, flashbacks are about reliving aspects of that event and feeling as though it's happening right then and now. So so that could be something, right? And it involves really having the images, hearing the sounds. You may taste it. There is some physical sensation to your body. And then it also can manifest as panic attacks. And that's a fear response, which is different from anxiety attack. So panic attack, really the body is going through these physical response to danger and stress, and also to excitements, certain types of stimulation. And then there's a terminology called disassociation, and it's the way that the mind copes with overwhelming stress. And you might feel numb or spaced out or even detached from your body because things just seem so unreal. Okay, and of course, sleep problems, right? Sleeping you could have trouble falling asleep, or you could fall asleep and then wake up. So having interrupted sleep is just as unhealthy as not going to sleep or taking long to go to sleep. And then when you go to sleep, you may have nightmares and feel unsafe at night. Um, and then there's self-neglect. Self-neglect is you're not looking after yourself, you're not eating properly, you're not changing your clothes, you're not having any personal hygiene, goes into self-esteem because you're just really having trouble adjusting to the trauma. So definitely self-neglect is when you really need to take a hard look. And most of the time, self-neglect is a loved one, someone in your circle of support should be recognizing that and bringing that to your attention. And then there is self-harm. Um, some people cut themselves, some people make plans to take themselves out of this earth, but some people actually do it. So I'll be giving a series on mental first aid as it pertains to suicide, being recognized as signs and symptoms, and what you as a first responder can do when you recognize those signs. All right, and then substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, recreational drugs, um, uh, prescription drugs, all of those things are that people use to try to cope with the difficult emotions and memories. So those are some of the things that you can look out for as it relates to trauma, and look out for the next section, episode, series. Well, I'm keeping it short. I don't want to make it long and then lose you, but I want you to be able to get these nuggets. Feel free to ask me any questions at the Heart Lady.